sometimes being loud and online turns up strange results. While Ben Askren has made his name through multiple disciplines and organizations in his combat sports career, from winning 2 national championships as a collegiate wrestler to winning titles with Bellator and 1 championship in MMA, he's garnered just as much attention over the years for his brash and outspoken personality on social media. Jake Paul, Ben Askren is the sort of combat sports craziness that deserves an explanation, but before we get started, if you could please hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, leave a thumbs up on this video, that goes a long way. Without further ado, for Combat Culture, I'm Shakiel Mahjouri, and let's answer the question, Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, how the heck did we get here? So back on August 10th, when Logan Paul issued a $10,000 challenge on his Twitter account to quote, any influencer who can beat me in a wrestling match, well, Ben Askren, being the exceptionally online guy that he is, was quick to answer the call. With more than 350,000 followers on his Twitter account, Askren appears to have been under the distinct impression that he qualified for the label of influencer, and having recently retired from MMA, maybe he felt that an extra few $1,000 wouldn't go amiss. Quote, I'll pin you in less than a minute, bad hip and all, Askren wrote, quoting Paul's message. The reply was swift and brutal, just one word, chill, coupled with a screenshot of Askren's 5-second KO loss to Jorge Masvidal. If Paul thought that would quiet the feud, however, he couldn't be more wrong. Quote, shit happens, you think you can last 1 minute or no, Askren responded, and a few days later followed up with a photo of his Askren Wrestling Academy students and another message, needling the YouTube star turned celebrity boxer. Quote, everyone on this wall can beat Logan Paul, Askren wrote, laying down the gauntlet. From there, however, the beef seemed to have largely faded away, at least right up until Paul's younger brother Jake returned to the boxing ring in late November on the undercard of Mike Tyson's exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr. Ahead of his fight against former NBA player Nate Robinson, Jake Paul told media members that after defeating the former basketball point guard, he hoped to lure either Conor McGregor or Ben Askren into the boxing ring. Quote, Ben Askren has been saying he wants to fight me, Paul told Insider.com's Alan Dawson back in late November. He's on Twitter talking shit, even though he got knocked out in 5 seconds, so he has no place to speak from. If you're a human and you can be knocked out in 5 seconds, then you shouldn't be fighting. Retire, delete your Twitter, and then go into a hole and hide. That's just embarrassing. That's why, realistically, if I keep winning, Paul added, take out some MMA guys in the boxing ring, the McGregor fight's going to happen. A few days later, Askren took to his own podcast, making it clear that whatever kind of fight Jake Paul was interested in having, Ben Askren was down. Quote, listen, this guy's a bum, Askren said. All my kids at the academy asked about this. I don't give a damn what style I'm gonna fight this guy in. I'm a world-class athlete and he's a bum. I'll beat him in just about anything there is in combat, so yeah, if they came to my door, they offered me enough money, obviously, I would do it. Askren went on to add that he figured the call out wouldn't come to anything and that Jake Paul was just, quote, using my name on social media. Nonetheless, he sounded more than willing to answer the challenge if the Paul brothers were actually interested in following through. He reiterated the call out a few days later in an interview with Submission Radio.
I think you're very right about that. If it was to be a fight, you and Jake Paul, would it be boxing or MMA? What would you prefer?
I said I don't care.
You don't either one.
I would Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, Lethway. Name a style. You name a style, I'll win.
And just to keep things rolling, when the Paul brothers performed their drive-by prank of Conor McGregor training partner and Bellator talent Dylan Dennis back in mid-December, Askren was right there, still in line to needle them over their cringy performance.
Hey look, it's Conor McGregor's bitch right there. Pussy, pussy, piece of shit, pussy, dip, pussy. Fuck you, bitch! You're a bitch!
On December 22nd, it appeared that Ben Askren had gotten his wish. Former UFC title contender Chael Sonnen tweeted out a poster advertising a March 28th boxing match between Jake Paul and Ben Askren under the Triller Fight promotion that Paul's match with Robinson was on.
Yes, Mr. Jake Paul, I do accept. I know you called me out after your last fight against that bum Nate Robinson. And listen, it's a pretty simple choice. I'm going to make a whole bunch of money to beat up a guy who is pretending to be an athlete. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. And I know you may think, I do not have too many stand-up skills, but also at the end of the day, I don't really need to. Okay? I'm a world-class athlete. I've won NCAA titles. I've been in the Olympics. I won belts in multiple mixed martial arts organizations. And quite frankly, I am impressed that you've deluded yourself into thinking you are actually a fighter, that you are really tough, that you can really box. It's quite impressive that beating up another YouTuber and beating up a boxer who looked like he'd never been in the ring before makes you somehow good at boxing. Because it doesn't. So yes, Jake, I accept. I will see you March 28th in Los Angeles. And I will humble you like millions of people want to see happen.
Strangely, however, just a few days after Askren's public declaration that he'd accepted the fight, the bout seemed dead in the water. Askren released another video claiming that Paul was balking at the chance to square off with him and hadn't reached out to him in any way after the announcement to finalize the deal.
So let me give you a little recap of this situation. I'm retired, coaching wrestling, doing some podcasts, buying some Bitcoin, enjoying life. I don't really want to fight anybody. So in November, this jabroni, Jake Paul, calls me out, puts him a poster with my name. Haha. It's kind of funny. Whatever, right? No big deal. Well, then a couple weeks later, get a couple texts. Then a week after that, I get some calls. I get an offer. Okay, this guy really wants to fight. Am I opposed to making some easy money beating up a YouTuber? Of course I'm not. Right? So what do? Sure, Jacob, I'll fight you. No problem. I accept publicly on Twitter. Nonetheless, since then, Jacob's went silent. Jacob's kind of a coward. Sorry, guys. Don't think the fight's happening.
Fast forward a month and the fight is back on. No longer planned for March, their boxing match is now scheduled for April 17th. Quote, Ben Askren is a two-time NCAA champion, a world champion in 2 different global mixed martial arts organizations, and has less losses on his record than Conor McGregor. Not really sure what that has to do with anything, but that's what Paul told ESPN when the new fight was announced. Me, on the other hand, I started boxing 2 years ago, and I'm still going to knock his ass out faster than Jorge Masvidal. These MMA guys think because they can throw punches, they know how to box. The world complained because I knocked out a basketball player and not a real fighter. So now I'm giving the people what they want by taking on a quote real fighter. After Ben Askren is added to my knockout meme collection, what can anybody say? Thank you to Triller Fight Club for giving me the platform to once again put a man to sleep. April 17th, it's lights out for Askren. Paul seems to be taking his training seriously down in Miami, even going so far as to do some work with Jorge Masvidal. He's posted videos of his mitt work and even strapped himself up to tow a fire truck to get some strongman style conditioning in. Askren is reportedly training with Freddie Roach to get his hands sharp for his boxing debut. He's also enlisted the help of junior middleweight champion boxer K9 Cornelius Bundridge. Both men appear to be making all the right moves to get in the best shape of their life for this match. Only one question remains. Jake Paul, Ben Askren, who is going to win? Let us know in the comments section what you think. If you like this video, the best way you can help our channel, hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, leave a like on this video. You can follow me on Twitter at ShaqFu. Enjoy all the craziness, and we'll catch you right here on Combat Culture.